Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and we are defining terms that were set out to us by a listener of the channel who had a couple quick questions for us. And we thought, hey, those are great questions. People might want to know this. So, as per the listener who suggested this, we're making some videos here. We're defining the term covenant not to sue, specifically as it would exist in the realm of employment law. So, a covenant not to sue, you might guess, is an agreement, a contract, potentially a contractual term, in which an injured party agrees not to file a lawsuit, not to litigate a particular claim. The natural question then is, well, how is that different from a release, right? So if you release a claim, and this is very general, so there's going to be differences under different statutes, different jurisdictions, different sets of case law, but the general answer is this: a release relinquishes the claim. It extinguishes the claim, right? If you sign a release, claim could be dead forever. Now, there's certain ways to potentially bring that claim back. Don't go signing a release assuming that you're going to get it back someday. Highly unlikely, but that is what happens. There are ways which you can get out of a release potentially, but again, very rare, very unlikely. The classic is always, oh, they forced me to sign. Oh my gosh, that's so horrible. Were they going to hurt you? Did they threaten you with physical violence? No, they just told me I had to sign or I had to lose my job or something like that, right? Now, there might be retaliation there. Might be something else going on, but that's probably not going to be them forcing you to sign, right? You're signing of your own volition if you're not generally going to be within in fear of physical harm, right? Okay, so that's a release where you extinguish the claim. I don't know why this is my extinguished symbol. I guess this is a flame and it's being extinguished. I should probably work on my hand gestures. Now, covenant not to sue is a little bit different. You're agreeing, hey, I'm not going to sue you, but the claim survives, right? So there's some flexibility there. People might do that if they want to say, as long as you do this thing, I covenant not to sue. I agree not to sue you. Well, the claim survives. So if someone fails to live up to their end of that contract, the other side could say, the injured side could say, oh, well, that covenant not to sue is no longer effective. I can sue you now because you didn't live up to the contractual term, right? It's kind of a subtle distinction, but it matters. It's going to matter more to drafting attorneys, specifically attorneys drafting settlement agreements or attorneys trying to get you out of a settlement agreement, right? So you can sue better, right? So it's always very common. People will settle their own case on their own, and they'll take pennies on the dollar what they might have gotten for the case, and then they start to say, "Hey, why did I do that? Why didn't I hire an attorney? Why did I take so little?" Well, it's a long shot, but you can always talk to an attorney and say, "Hey, can you get me out of this? Is this binding?" Probably, but maybe not. There's things that can happen. There's arguments to be made potentially. So, that's one of the reasons, one of the situations where this could be a meaningful distinction, right? You're going to get weird things in corporate structuring, corporate agreements, things of that nature, where people just don't really trust each other to live up to their obligations, or they're looking to get extra protection. There's weird circumstances where you would use the covenant not to sue to build out some leverage, build out some protections, build out something you can use to enforce things if people don't live up to their side of a bargain, right? I hope this is helpful. I think this is a great suggestion. I love the listener suggestions because I don't always know, right? Because this is all I do. So I live in the world of employment law, and everything seems like, yeah, of course, covenant not to sue, right? But you don't. And the same way I don't know your field, you might not know my field, right? So it's really helpful for me to know from listeners, hey, what's this? Tell us more about this. This would be useful. And I can say, oh, well, I better get on that. If I want to help people, I better do it. Take care, everyone.